How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ball to Bowl series. As you guys know by now, the Ball to Bowl series is an opportunity for us to come home to talk to men that are already bald about the ups and downs of the hair loss journey, as well as exploring manhood. Today, I got a special guest with me, Mr. Lawrence Ellis. Lawrence, thanks for joining us today. Talk to the people, let them know a little bit about yourself, bro.
Oh man, Lawrence Ellis. I done lived like 5 lives already, from like wardrobe styling, movie producer, film actor, and now I'm living. I'm in a good part of my life right now. You know, with the little one, my father. Say hi, El.
What's up?
This baby girl, she's 1 years old, man. This the best part of my life right now. This the best life that I've lived so far.
Yes, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, man. Thank you for joining us, El. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we want Lawrence up here, but really the show's about you. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's all. Trust me, man. It's all about her. She don't care about nothing. It's about the beat of her own drum. Like, I got Mickey Mouse going on in the den. She not. It's wherever I'm at, she's gonna be right there, man. So
that's how it should be. That girl dad flow, man, for sure. Absolutely. So, G. One thing about Come Home, man, obviously, like, the brand has a real connection to the idea of what home means. Because I believe personally that everybody can relate to home. It means different things to everybody, but it's definitely a strong concept that people can relate to. So when you think about the word home, what does that take you to? Tell me about that. What does that mean to you?
Home means Cleveland, Ohio 216. I know it gets a lot of flack from everybody, mistake on the lake and all that, but that's my home. That's the place that raised me and instill strong values in me. Like, when you're from a place as miserable as Cleveland, like I hate to say it like that, but when you're from a place as miserable as Cleveland, like, it snows 7 months out the year, it's not too much going on, like, it instills a different type of work ethic and values instilled into you. Like, you're able to withstand harsher things in life than most people can't even deal with. That's what I feel. And then, like, when it means it's home, it reminds me of any situation that I come across, whether it's becoming a new father, whether it's somebody does to make me upset in my job, whether somebody does me dirty in a deal. It always feel like I've been through worse. I can overcome this. I've been through worse. I overcome it. Only thing I can't overcome is death. But as long as I'm still walking, when I think about home, when I think about any situation, obstacle that I come across, I just takes me back to where I'm from. This is nothing. It's nothing. So I've been through too much. It's nothing.
So Cleveland actually gets you kind of thick skin coming out of Cleveland, Ohio. You're saying?
Yeah, man. You don't you don't let a lot of stuff get to you, man. When you coming out of Cleveland, when you're raised in Cleveland, like, just think you really don't have any entertainment until you leave Cleveland. Like, the best thing that happened in Cleveland was LeBron. Like,
let's talk about that, though. Let's talk about that. Y'all had LeBron. He came through, brought y'all shit, but he also left once. Tell me about your feelings when LeBron left the first time, and then your feelings when he came back and gave y'all shit.
Well, when LeBron left the first time, I was like, okay, I left too. When I moved to Atlanta. Like, when he left Cleveland, I was like, okay, I don't blame. Actually, when he left Cleveland, I was living in Atlanta, because he left Cleveland in, what was that? 2008. He left Cleveland in 2008. I had left Cleveland in 2007. So I'm like, okay, like, I don't blame you at all. But with him coming back and bringing that championship to Cleveland after we haven't had anything like that in so long, since the Browns in 1950 something or something crazy like that, I honestly didn't believe it. Like, literally, when I went to sleep and woke up the next morning, I looked at ESPN. I was like, we really?
Did you watch the game that night, or you woke up and found out the news?
I watched the game. When I say I was the most stressed in my life, Game 7, oh my God. And literally, when I didn't believe time could slow down until Kyrie pulled up for that 3 on Steph Curry. I literally was sitting in, and at this time I was living in Philadelphia. Okay. I'm literally sitting on the edge of my bed watching that 3 go. And when he made it, oh my God, I'm in a hotel yelling my head off. Like, that's the only time in life time is slowed down. Like, literally is slowed down.
That's amazing, bro. That's amazing. And then what about the Browns? What's your take on the Browns? They're turning the corner now. Are you a believer in Baker Mayfield in that bunch?
Man, if it's one thing, anybody from Cleveland, especially if you're a football fan, you won't never give up on the Browns. You'll never give up on the Browns. I will say every year is our year. And this year, I don't know, because last year was looking kind of nice. But this year, I'm actually surprised, like, because the Browns have been making moves like they like a franchise football team. I'm like, y'all making some real good moves. I ain't never seen it, but it's good to see it now. But like, y'all making some nice moves. Like, y'all looking kind of nice. I feel like I think we got the division championship in our sights this year. Okay. I ain't gonna say it all. I ain't gonna say we're going it all, but I think we got division championships in our sights this year. I'll at least give us that.
That's dope. No, man. I think obviously I think Cleveland basketball kind of has taken a hit since Brown left, of course. But to see Cleveland football pick back up is definitely a dope thing, man. And actually, bro, last thing I mentioned about sports, I just graduated from the University of Michigan, the MBA program there. And obviously there's a big rivalry between
Ohio State.
Yeah. So
have you been to one of those games?
No, man. While I was in school, I graduated this past April. So obviously my second year football season was COVID. Right. My first year, though, they played, Michigan played Ohio State at Michigan, but it was Thanksgiving weekend. And I went to Chapel Hill. I'm a Carolina guy. I went to Chapel Hill growing up.
Okay. Yeah, I got a homegirl that went to Chapel Hill too. Like,
what you know, around what year?
It was pretty recent. Taurus, she went to Chapel Hill because I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't know no black people that went to Chapel Hill, like until I met her. I was like, oh, okay. Like, but yeah, she went to Chapel Hill. I'm not sure where I have to ask you. Hey, look at you. Finally.
There you go. Now she up.
Chapel Hill, and then went to University of Michigan.
Mm-hmm. So I end up like getting kind of into that football rivalry just to realize that, wait, Michigan actually isn't good and Ohio State is a lot better. So shout out to y'all, man.
I've been to one of the games in Ohio State. Like, this was back in like high school, like 05, because I graduated in 06, went to like high school in 05, and never experienced no type of atmosphere like that ever before in my life. Like, it was like, you want to say hate? Like, these people from Ohio probably never met these people from Michigan before in their life, but you talk about hate, like, oh man, it was amazing. Any Michigan fan, it looked like it could pop off at any given moment. Like, I'm talking about it was crazy. But yeah, that if you was able to go. Unfortunately, the world shut down because of I ain't gonna bring that word up because they be having shadow bans on that word when you say it on platforms. But either way, that's a good outlet. That's a game you want to go to. That's a game you want to.
I definitely gotta try to make one in the upcoming years, man. For sure. All right, so bro, we kick game about sports, but we gotta get to what we're really here for, man. Mm-hmm. Obviously, today I see you rocking the ball. Super smooth with it, killing it, man. But we know it wasn't always like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? We know it wasn't always like that. So take us back. Get in the time machine, my dog.
Here we go. So
earlier days, bro.
All right. High school. I'll call it the Allen Iverson era because everybody had braids. Like, Allen Iverson kicked it off, then all the NBA players had braids. Jermaine O'Neal, Latrell Sprewell, everybody.
Yep.
And of course that trickled down into culture. So absolutely. I'm in high school, I had braids and everything, long hair. I had long fine hair, no issues, head full of hair, braids every day. My mom has a beautician's license, so she was braiding my hair every week and a half. Like, cool. Yeah. And then I start rocking the low cut because I'm like, I'm done with too much hair. Rocking the low cut. Had the waves, the waves weren't that deep. They weren't that deep. I just had them on the top and on it's this side because I didn't know where my swirl was all the way up until like a reason we'll find out why I came home later on. So it was always my waves was deep paired on the left and on the side. It was just like, but had some type of waves, but the low cut. So kept rocking that. Then I was living in Atlanta. I was in the car and I took a picture. And it just had got like a little camera, had a flash on. I took a picture. And then after I'm reviewing the picture on the computer, I'm like, I'm like, it's a little light right there. It's a little light right there. I'm 22 at this time. I'm 22. I ain't have no issues with hair or anything like that. I'm like, it's a little light right there. Okay, whatever. Don't pay attention to it. Just keep going, keep going. And then I want to say 25, 26. I started seeing it creeping back a little bit more. So I'm just like, oh, I got to do something about this. So,
so at this point, you're still wearing the low cut, right?
Yeah, I'm still doing the low cut. I'm still doing the low cut. So at 25, 26, I started going back a little bit more and I could see it, especially when I put my head down. I was like, oh, once I did the head down in the picture, I was like, oh, this is bad. This is bad. So what I did was I grew my hair out to the curly fro so I could mask it a little bit. Kiddo. So I could mask it a little bit, right? So I'm trying to mask it a little bit the best I can. And you can still tell, but it wasn't like when I had the low cut. With the low cut, you was like, oh yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yeah. But then I rocked that I actually had the low cut until I had the curly hair, my bad, the curly fro, trying to mask it for a minute. So fast forward back in 2021 now, 2018, all right. I'm pretty sure you heard of the company called Homme.
Yep.
All right, so I was big on like getting sponsors and stuff at that time, and also it was something that like was near and dear to me, hair loss. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy their product. I'm gonna review it. I'm gonna try to get a sponsorship from them, right?
I love that hustle. Yep.
It ends up working out. I ends up getting a sponsorship, but it also ends up working for me. I started getting the little hairs in the little space. Okay. Like I started getting a little hair. So I'm like, okay. But the only drawback of that was I would have to take a medical medication, finasteride, for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. I can't.
This was pill form or what?
Pill form. Okay. Yeah, the finasteride was pill form, and then the minoxidil was topical, but like, who wants to do that every single day for the rest of their life? Like I'm talking about you could see videos of me on YouTube. Like I got like 50,000 views on some videos, like 40,000 views. Like I was on it. Like I was like their little face on YouTube for a quick little minute. So, but I moved on. I moved on from that, and then getting to when I came home. I done went from the curly hair. I tried to get locks. That was a bad experience. It just looked bad, man. I had got 2-strand twists, and then it was just like patches missing right here. Like I was trying to mask it, man. I was trying to mask it. Like it was bad. Then I was like, I cut the locks off, had the low cut. And then I got my hair to a certain length, and I was like, all right, I'm about to get the 360s. He's about to be, I'm about to get them deep. So I had the mirror. I'm in the bathroom. I look in the front mirror. And I was like, man, let me find out where my swirl is, because that's where you got to brush out. I did the double mirror. I looked back, and that swirl looked like this. And I was like, I ran out the bathroom. I was like, my wife was like, Jam, why didn't you tell me the top of my head looked this bad? Hey, you know, wives, they ain't gonna like hurt you. She was like, it don't look that bad. I'm like, nah, this gotta go like tomorrow. Called him my boy Steph, because he finally came home, but his was worse than mine since I met him. Like
he been off for a minute.
He should have came home like 10 years ago. Like it was bad. Like he was bad. He has alopecia too, like really, really bad. Like, and he has eczema. He was like, he should have came home a long time ago. But so I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, yo, I gotta get it done. So he's still holding on to his at the time, right? So I'm like, I gotta come home. So call him, go over there. He's like, you really about to do this? You really trying? I'm like, oh nah, do it. I was like, don't let me see no mirror. Because he had a full size mirror in his chair. I was like, don't let me see no mirror beforehand, right? So go to him. He cut it. I feel it all going off. He did the beard and everything. He turned me around. I got up, was like, now mind you, I always thought I had a really, really, really weird shaped head underneath this. I thought that was my biggest fear. That was my biggest fear. Okay. That's my biggest fear. Like if I cut it all off, like it's gonna be like a lump on this side. Like I was a bad kid, man. I used to jump off of second story houses, man. Like I was doing crazy stuff. Like ain't no telling what happened in my head. So he turned me around. Now watch out, baby girl. He turned me around, and then I was look. Mm-hmm. I ain't mad at it.
You're right. You're like,
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. Like I was like, because it was giving me like the low cut vibes. It was like super lower, and I was like, and I got the beard too. I'm like, I ain't mad at this. I ain't mad at this. I ain't mad at this. And then I go ahead.
Question for you, Lawrence. Couple of questions. One, so before you had peeped it, I know you said your wife didn't say anything. Were you getting jokes from anybody else, or is it really just you that was noticing what was kind of going on with your hairline?
The jokes? I normally got the jokes from my family, man. I got my whole father's side of the family is from Cleveland. My whole mom's side of the family is from South Philadelphia. Ruthless. Ruthless. Even my sister too. Sister's just like, yo, like my sister, she's like, yo, your hairline look like the Batman signal, like just ruthless, like. And I come back, but once you come to the hairline, like I'm just a natural joker, right? Like I naturally joke. So, but once you go to like my hairline, it's like, what can I say to come back from that? Like I
really got a little bit deeper, man. That got like deeper.
What can I say to come back from that? I don't have no rebuttal to that. When you start talking about my hairline, I don't have no rebuttal. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So yeah, sisters was crazy, cousin, and he like my brother. I'm talking about like my birthday in August, his birthday in December. We grew up like together as brothers. Yep. And he hairline immaculate, nothing wrong at all. Hairline is immaculate.
That Jalen Rose.
He's a lot. Jalen Rose hairline to the T, and I'm like, he just be talking like he go to the barbershop. When I come in, he's like, hey, yo, your hairline never look like this. Yo, you gotta relax, my guy. You gotta relax. Like I'm just like, yeah, those like other people just was like, yeah, it was okay. Like I ain't really pay attention to it, but the family, because they know you know how to cut deep. Like, and I joke on family all day, every day, but they know that one thing. Is just like, yeah, those jokes from the family was the worst, man. I'm not even gonna hold you. Jokes from the family was the worst, especially when I was seeing everybody else like immaculate hairlines, and then me and my cousin were the only like boys in the family until my nephew was born. So you got one male in the family hairline is fading away like Jordan, and then you got the other bruh, his hairline immaculate with the waves to the hairline that crisp. I'm like,
yikes.
Bad, all bad, man. It was all bad.
Did any of those jokes ever get to the point where it was like kind of making you think, I need to shave? Or were you like, even though you was catching those jokes for the most part, you were like, I'm solid until that moment when you had a double mirror? Yeah,
even though I was catching those jokes, I was solid until I saw that swirl. Okay. Until I saw that swirl. Like I didn't like the jokes, like they would just be in the moment. I just let them roll off of me. Cause like I said, in Cleveland, you gotta have thick skin. So like I just let them roll off of me and stuff like that. But it wasn't until like I actually looked in the mirror, like as cliche as it sounds, I actually looked in the mirror and I was like, yo.
You're like, yo, you're playing yourself right now.
Oh my God. Cause I always, man, look, man, I as men, a lot of men, we have confidence, we have egos. I always look at like, yo, man, I'm a good looking brother. I do well for myself. But once I saw, I was like, I've been playing myself this whole time. Like, I think I could look so much better, but like, bruh, I've been like, because this is how I look at it. When you have your hairline receding, it ages you. You look older than you are, or like you don't. So, and when you have a hairline, it makes you look younger. Mm-hmm. Once I went bald, I was like, all right, I look at a steady age. Like I look like I'm early 30s and I'm going to keep there because I take care of my skin. And I'm like steady 30. I'm like, all right, I could deal with that. So, I ain't gonna go ahead.
I got a story about that, Lawrence. So actually, when I came home, because I had the same exact thought process you had in terms of like, yo, people will think I'm older when I'm bald. Like, you know what I mean? When I had the hairline, people could tell my age. So I was super nervous that once I finally came home, all these shorties are gonna be like, yo, he must be 35. He must be, you know, to me, 30. I'm 31 now, so 35 isn't nothing. But at that time, I was like 26, 27. So I'm like, people will think I'm super old. Literally, the day I came home, bro, I remember I came home and like the next day, I think I was driving to Charlotte from Raleigh, like a 2.5, 3 hour drive. I stopped at Zaxby's to get some food. And at the cashier, the register, there's two women. I don't know, they might have been like 24s. They look kind of my age at the time. You know, I was 26. I put up to the cash register, I order my food. And while I'm waiting, they're like looking back at me and like kind of like giggling a little bit and smiling. And I'm like, wow, they're giving me jokes about being bald. I cannot believe this. So I come to the register later and I'm like, yo, like, what's up? What y'all laughing about? And they're like, yo, we're trying to guess how old you were. And in my head, again, I'm thinking they're going to be like, he must be like 30, 31. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what y'all guess? She was like, well, she thinks you're 26 and I think you're 24. And I'm like, yo, I'm over here thinking sure don't think I'm older, but one of them actually guessed that I was younger. So I was like, that kind of demystifies or destigmatizes the thought process that some of us have about what the external world thinks about what it means or what you kind of give off as a bald man.
Yeah, I don't think being bald ages you as much as like we think so. Like, I don't think it does. Like, I think going bald ages you. Like that process of your hairline creeping, like that ages, because I'm there's been times I look in mirrors, I'm like, I'm really only 28 and I'm like, I'm looking like I'm 35 going on. I'm like, this can't be life. Like this can't be life. I will say though, I wish I would have done it sooner though. I wish I would have done it sooner. I wish I would have done it sooner because I would have had so much experience of going bald underneath my belt. And you need that experience of how to take care of your head. You need that experience because I tell you, I've been bald for about like six months, and I'm learning new stuff more and more day by day. You gotta learn what goes with your skin. You gotta learn if you could use razors or you gotta go the electric razor route. Like it's so much you gotta learn.
There is a learning curve, man. There is a learning curve, and nobody tells you about that, dog. Well, look, we'll get into that in a second. I got one more question about when you first actually came home. So you peep in the mirror. What's your boy Steph say? Because your boy Steph was with you. And then also, what did the first time, like you saw your family, your friends, what were their first thoughts when they saw you with the new look?
Oh, I'm gonna go with the happy moments first, okay? So first moment wife saw me, right? Came home, actually home to my home. came to the crib, right? Wife saw me. She was like, okay. Now, as her being my wife, you know, it's that thin line. You don't know if she's just hyping you or she actually feel. I'm gonna go with the good part. So she's like, okay. Oh, she start rubbing on the head and everything. Like, yo, relax, chill.
Hey, by the way, bro, I've been talking to homies and I'm like, yo, when your woman rubs on your head, that's low-key a little love language, man. That might be a love language right there.
Hey, man, she was rubbing on my head last night. I was like, yo, it's kind of tingle. Like, hold on, like, this is my new spot. Like, come on, yo, relax. We don't need another one right now. Chill, relax. So she was like, all right, cool. So then I got on FaceTime with my little sisters, right? First thing she say, you look like daddy. Yo. Come on, man. That's not what like my father, he bald. My brother, my actual brother, he was bald, but then he started growing locks. Like he has locks now. So yeah, he was bald. I don't know if he went bald because he had to, or I'm not sure, but now he got a full set of hair. You know what? We're gonna revisit that. little questionable, but and that's really it. But besides that, everybody else was my cousin, his wife. She was like, can I touch your head? I'm like, okay. And this was like 2 days afterwards. And you know how your hair get 2 days after you get those little pricks. She was like, yeah. So I was like, she was like, it ain't smooth no more. I was like, well, because it's like 2 days afterwards. Like that hair grow back fast. So yeah, that was really it. And then everybody else was everybody else was pretty much just like, okay, we cool, we rocking out with it. Like I ain't really have too many no negatives besides my little sisters. They said I look like daddy. That was it, pretty much.
So, quick question about that: do you and your father look alike? Like, so knowing he was already bald, did you ever kind of foreshadow, like, hey, this might be in my future, or because you had the hair for a while, the braids, you probably never was like, you thought you might be good?
I thought I was gonna be good because he didn't start going bald until 40.
Okay.
He
Okay.
didn't start going bald till he's 40. I remember him having a full head of hair all the way growing up. He didn't start going bald until he was 40. So I'm thinking I at least got 40. So when I started seeing stuff at 22, I'm like, this math ain't mathing. Like this math ain't mathing. This ain't adding up. So yeah, I thought, yeah. But then again, like me and my father, we look alike, but we don't, because like me and my father got different noses, and he never could grow a full beard. He just got he just got to rock out with the goatee. Now I will, hey, if I only could rock out with like a goatee or a mustache and chin hair, I wouldn't have went bald. I couldn't do it. I need this balance. I need this to balance everything out, man. I need it, man. Call me insecure or whatever. Sorry, baby girl. Call me insecure or whatever, but I need the beard to balance it out. It just, in my mind,
Yeah,
I
you
wouldn't
know
look
what's
right.
funny, bro? I actually could never really grow a beard until I went bald. Like when I had hair, my beard never came in. It wasn't until I
What?
started losing my hair when it finally came in. I was like, yo, that's kind of crazy. But
That's
something
crazy.
also tells me that like God he don't want to give somebody too much power. You know what I'm saying? The strong hairline, the waves, and the beard, that's actually a lethal combo for guys. So like,
I would agree. No, bro, you get strong hairline, waves, beard, and you got some pretty eyes, like light hazel eyes. Oh nah, that's a wrap.
scary hours. It's scary hours for all the women out there.
That's
So
a wrap. That's a wrap. You can't give no one man that much power. It's just impossible. Impossible.
word to Kanye, man. Word to Kanye. All right, so back to your boy Steph, because you said he was kind of going through it. You finally come home, and he's a part of that process. What's his reaction? And did he ever come home before or after that? Did that help him along?
So his reaction was, okay, I like it. I like it. He was like, I like it. I like it a lot. Now, he has an interesting shaped head. But I want to say after I came home, I say I came home maybe on that Friday, that Sunday. He came home and it's done. It was done. Cause I'm talking about he was hiding it, man. You know those bros that be hiding it, like they be holding on. You just like I know I was holding on, but he was holding on for dear life. And I'm like, man, my guy, like you just gotta let it go. But
he was on a road trip. He wasn't coming home.
nah, he wasn't come home at all, man. I'm just like, man, my guy, just let it go. But yeah, I want to say if I came home on that Friday, he came home on that Sunday, and it was just like he been rocking out ever since. And he a barber too, so like he do the whole and everything.
I gotta connect with him, bro. I need you to plug this, man. I want to get him up here too, man. For sure.
Okay, I got you. No, I got you.
My man. So you home now. People are rocking with it. You rocking with it. You got your boy Steph also came home with you. So everything is money. But now I hear what you're saying. You start to realize what it takes to really upkeep this new look, right? Because growing up, I feel like I would see bald men and I would think like, yo, I remember seeing bald men at the barbershop in front of me, like trying to get the chair next. I'm like, yo, what are you doing, fam? You even got no hair. But on the other side, I realized like, yo, the upkeep may be more work than it was when I had a full of hair.
I will say, how can I describe this upkeep? It's not as simple as I thought it was. Okay. It's not as like I shave my head on Monday. I won't have to worry about shaving my head on Friday. It's not as, hey, I'll just put maybe some moisturizer on my head one time a day or just afterwards, and then it's cool. It's shaving my head maybe once or even every other day, depending on depending, but also being inside, working from home and stuff like that. Like it's been times I didn't like I was like, I can't go outside. Good thing I have some hats, but like good thing I'm not going outside. Like I'm talking about, once they start growing back and it's not it's nasty. It's nasty. But I had to learn after I shaved my head. Babe, can you close my door? After I shave my head, I need the bump patrol, like little astringent. I need tea tree oil.
Mm-hmm.
I need, what else I use? After the tea tree oil, I need rose water. After the tea tree oil, I use rose water. Then after the rose water, I use Jamaican castor oil. Did a little bit of that. And then after the castor oil, I seal it all in with some shea butter. So that's all those to go into that one process to make sure I don't leave a bump up or my head isn't dry and ashy, because I'll tell you one thing, an ashy bald head is nasty. It's nasty looking. It don't look good. It's not flattering. There's no way you could get around it, because like when you bald, when you walk in the room, that's the first thing they see. That's the first thing they see. So, and if somebody able to see a little ash on you, come on, man. Come on. What is we doing? And it's taught me how to upkeep my beard more, because
absolutely, bro. There's one thing I realized as well. I think I got more into self-care and more into taking care of my skin after I came home, right? Because to your point, if you start getting them razor bumps, that's a whole other issue, right? They're difficult to get rid of. So you got to really be serious about the maintenance of your new look. Or you could go down bad, and none of us want to be down bad. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody want that Nestle Crunch Bar neck. Like nobody wants that. Like that was my biggest fear with razors. So I'm not even gonna lie, hold you. Like that was my biggest fear with razors. Like I'm on electric razors, like straight now. Like I'm on electric razor, but I wanted that close, smooth, baby silky, and I thought razors would give it to me though, right? But I also know with my skin texture, my hair type, I have to go with the grain. Yeah, I have to go with the grain. I had a razor, I went with the grain, and I'm like, this not even getting me as close as my electric razor. So I'm like, what's the point? And I'm not about to go against the grain. And no,
I would never chance that.
Yeah, I'm not about to go against the grain just for the smooth. So I'm like, nah. We good. I'm gonna just go back to my electric razor, rock out. We good. So yeah, it's a lot. I just wish it was because I don't know how it is for you, man. It'd be taking a little bit of minute for me. It'd be like, I'll be in there for like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, yo, like.
Oh, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And that's the thing for me, man. To your point, I don't shave every other day or every day. So like after like day 3, I got to start wearing my hat, because it takes so much time to do that. I just haven't figured out how to build that into my schedule every other day. I'm like, yo, I don't have time for that. So like you'll see me with a freshman, 3 days later, I'm just wearing a hat until I shave again. Maybe I probably shave, I'm not gonna lie, maybe once a week, unless something is coming up that I have to shave for. But I'll just usually shave once a week. After day 3, I'm hat boys until I shave again, because I haven't figured that out. But to your point, one thing we talked about is the issue of your hair growing back faster. And with Come Home, we're going to launch our scalp products in the fall. But one thing we're going to realize is, how can we solve one of those pain points, right? If we know one of the big issues is having to shave so much, we're trying to figure out and formulate a product, a scalp moisturizer that actually helps your hair grow slower over time, to save you more time with your shaving routine. So we're in the lab, man. We're in the lab cooking up to try to figure out best ways to solve some.
Y'all doing some real chemistry though, because if you can figure that out, like, y'all cooking for real.
And also, you mentioned, I see you got the paper towel. We trying to figure out a way to actually like help men sweat less, or help your skin absorb sweat faster, so you're not always. You know what I'm saying? So we've been studying the game, man. My co-founder is also bald. So we always are studying.
When somebody told me, my one homeboy, he was like, yo, the sweat's always been there. It's just that you had hair. I'm like, okay. I'm like, it makes sense, but Jesus Christ. Like, I'm talking about, and then I'm in Atlanta right now. It's hot, it's humid. As soon as I walk outside, like I had to go take the trash out. I'm like, Jesus, like, bruh. And then one thing I didn't learn, no, but I had to incorporate, you gotta have sunscreen for your bald head, man.
Yep.
You gotta have sunscreen for your
Need
bald
it.
head. I didn't even know that. And I didn't even get no sunscreen until, I'm not even gonna hold you, like last week. But like, I put it into the routine. We good now, but like, you need it. It makes a world of difference. Just something light, but you need that sunscreen. You need that sunscreen, man. It's so much they don't teach you, man. It's so much they ain't teach you.
It's a learning curve, man. It's a learning curve, bro. And like, I do think it's important that there starts to be content out there that helps men embrace that evolution. One, a bit more efficiently, so you're not having to go through all these learning curves. You know what I'm saying? So we want to figure out a way to actually, one, this kind of series is going to help. Hopefully, men that are watching this will go and get some of the keys you dropping. They'll realize that early on, so they don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like what Hove say. Hove did that, so hopefully you got to go through that.
Exactly.
So Morris did that. So whoever's watching, you ain't got to go through that, man.
Yeah, man. You might as well just let it go, man. It ain't. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Because like I said, with your hair, you can either be older looking or you could be younger looking. At least when you got the baldy, you at least you stay around one age. Like I've ranged now, I get anywhere between 29 and 31. I'm like, I could live with that for the rest of my life. I could live with that. 29 to 31, I could live with that. That's cool with me. I ain't gonna be the 21.
My thing is, bro, I be peeping this, like, honestly, like people that knew me when I had hair, they see me now and they're like, yo, I can't see you with hair again. Like you look so very bald. Like, and people that I meet that didn't know me back then, they'll be like, you had hair? Like, I can't imagine you with hair. You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say that I do feel like there's a trend right now of like bald and beard being a thing. I think in the past, historically, there was a bit of a stigma around it, hair loss, blah, blah, blah. But today day and age, like it's a lot of guys out here killing it with our look. So like, you got The Rock, biggest actor in Hollywood. Before that, Samuel L. Jackson, the highest paid actor in Hollywood. You got Michael Jordan, you had Kobe Bryant, the Jeff Bezos, richest man. The list goes on and on, or dope ball dudes. So I feel like we're catching a wave right now. So it's time for y'all to come home. If y'all watching, man, stop running.
I do got a question for you though.
Yeah, talk to me.
When you went bald and you got your beard,
yeah,
did your confidence boost?
Yo, so I'll be very real with you. My transition was tough. When I first realized I was losing my hair, and this was New Year's Eve 2013 when I first realized it, until I finally came home in like 2017. Those 4 years were tough, bro. Tough. Like I was wearing tons of but when I had hair, I never wore hats because I had the fresh lineup every week. Never wore hats because I wanted to show that off. When I realized I was losing my hair, dude, my hat collection skyrocketed, bro. I wear hats all the time, like trying to cover up my thinning, all that. I remember going to the barbershop during that time period, getting a fresh cut and coming out of the barbershop and putting a hat on immediately because I still didn't feel comfortable. So I went through a struggle, bro. And even when I finally came home, had the beard, it took me a couple of months to really see myself in that look. You know what I'm saying? People were like, yo, you look fine. It took me a while to really get into my bag. But once I got into my bag, it was over with. I got into my bag and it was over with, bro.
Got you. Well, yeah, same for me, man. I would say right out the gate, man. Like once I shaved it all off, once I got the cosign from my wife, I was like, all right, well, I'm good. Like I was good. I just was walking around like I really think people don't care as much as you think they do.
That's the key right there. That's the gem right there, bro. It's a lot of it's an internal battle. A lot of it's an internal battle because also for you, I think it's a bit different for you and me because I was single at the time, right? Okay. So I'm still like trying to pick up women. So I'm worried about what they're gonna think. You got a queen or wife that you're like, yo, she likes it. I'm good. I'm not really worried about nobody else, right? So it's a little bit different. But to your point, I definitely realize, and I tell a lot of men now that I talk to, like it's much more of an internal battle because women. I talk to women all the time. They're like, yo, I don't know why guys are tripping about going bald because y'all don't got no hair in the first place. Unless you have like braids or something, women don't look at us as having a lot of hair. If you got a regular haircut, they're not thinking like, oh my God, they're like, you had no hair in the first place. So like, it's a lot of it kind of just really you fighting your own ghost, man.
Yeah, yeah. And plus, like, I know some people be like, dang, I don't want everybody to go bald because it put barbers out of the job. Barbers will never go out of the job as long as they're able to shave and provide that hot steam towel, everything like that, line up and fade the beard. Barbers will forever be here because we just know how to shave. To get in the beard to look the right, that's a whole art in itself. That's a whole
That's
art
an
in itself.
art. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. All right, G, man. Your story has been super dope. I want to take us into the lightning round now.
All right, all right, all
I'm
right.
gonna give you a few questions, and you let me know the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear these questions, Brody.
Got you.
All right, man. So as we talked about it a little bit earlier, like hats are kind of really the only way for us to like change our look. We don't really have options these days. So if you think about that, what would you say is your go-to hat?
Go-to hat on the everyday basis would be dad hats. Now, if I want to freak it, like I got a couple of Cam Newton hats out in the
Okay,
closet.
okay.
I got a couple of them. Now I gotta get them. I gotta get a couple one more fitted to my head because I had them when I had a little bit of hair, but they still fit out. All right, they still fit out. But every day Nike dad hat, sports cap all day. I'm about to wear one when I go to the gym right now. So.
No doubt. Okay, for sure, for sure. All right, question number 2 here. We talked about it a bit earlier as well. Like, bald men are kind of winning right now. There's tons of examples of bald men killing it. So if you had to think about the top 3 most iconic bald men, dead or alive, top 3 most iconic bald men, what would that list be for you?
Right now, number 1 is The Rock for me.
Okay.
Number 2, Jason Statham. And number 3, can I say it? I mean, because he had, but then number 3, because I don't even care. That low cut was way too low to be considered a cut. Number 3, Kobe Bryant.
Yes, sir.
They when he had the low, it was just that lip. Nah, that was too low to be considered. That he was bald.
Absolutely.
Kobe number 3.
No doubt. Shout out to Kobe Bean Bryant, man. Rest in peace. My
Rest
favorite player growing up, man. So big deal, big inspiration in my life, man. So no doubt, no doubt. All right, Brody. We on to the next question here. And you kind of laid out your grooming regimen a bit earlier. You named a lot of different products, but I need you to name for me the one product you can't go without. So your number 1 grooming product that you got to have.
Number 1 grooming product that I have to have, it will have to be shea butter. Because I could use it for my head, I could use it for my face, I could use it for my arms. It has to be shea butter. I can't without shea butter. I really can't do nothing. Like I can't do nothing. Like even if I don't have like my regular face stuff that like I'll do on a daily basis, like I have to have shea butter. Like I just have to. Even in the wintertime, shea butter is gold, and I put it on everything. It's colder, so like I don't get no type of ash. Like I don't know, but I am interested in seeing how I do this winter. My first winter being bald. That's gonna be a whole different. It's gonna be a whole different thing.
Get your Scully game right, bro. You get your Scully game right.
I bought a couple last year, so I mean, I gotta start stocking up.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, bro. The last 2 questions here. This is take us a little bit deeper, man. This is my favorite parts of the conversation, actually. So, one, obviously, we're shooting this right now because we're hoping that your story is going to help some other men who are going through hair loss right now and they're still struggling. So, if we got some of those men watching right now, what would be the advice you would give somebody that's struggling through hair loss?
The only thing I would give somebody, the advice I would give, save your money on all those things to try to supplement your hair loss, try to mask it, save your money on Beijing, save your money on Hims, Keeps, Rogaine. Just save your money. The only person that really cares about going bald is you. If you have a perception of like whether people, I hate to tell you, but in this world today in 2021, people really don't care. The only person that really cares is you. So once you get over that internal struggle of yourself going bald and you actually accept yourself, this is the hand life dealt you. These are the cards life dealt you. Until they come out tomorrow with some miraculous hair loss treatment that's going to solve, no other man will have to go bald. This is what you got. So own up to it. instill that confidence, swallow your pride, and become the new you, and come home.
That's dope, man. And I want to add something to that, what you said at the end. You said, become the new you. And one thing one of my good friends always says is, all the greats reinvent themselves, right? Mm-hmm. So to Lawrence's point, folks, don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. You know what I'm saying? Life is a long journey, and it's okay to change throughout that life process. You have to change. Change is just a part of life. You know what I'm saying? So stop running, reinvent yourself like all the greats. And like you said, own up to it and come home.
Right.
Last question here, bro. And I know this is going to be a really good question for you, something you can really give us game on. So Come Home is spelled in French, right? It's kind of a play on words. We spell it in French because when you translate Come Home from French to English, it means like a man or as a man. And today in the 21st century, in 2021, the way we think about what it means to be a man has definitely changed. And for you, you had your beautiful baby daughter up here early on the start. So I know the way you think about being a man, especially as a father, has probably changed as you became a father. So bro, talk to us about what it means to you to be a man.
To be a man in my, like, to the best father and husband I possibly can be. Like, I'm pretty sure so many of us new fathers out here unfortunately didn't have that good of a role model growing up as like a father figure. Even if your father was there, you probably might have been like, hey, he could have did a couple of things differently. But like, just being that father and making sure my daughter happy one, she don't never have to question like, yo, did my father actually really love me? Or my wife actually be like, yo, is he really there supplying the needs that I need? Like, I don't ever want to have that, especially when you come to like my daughter. Like, life changed, man. Life changed. Like, and it's something different for every father once they have like their son or daughter. But life has changed. That's why I'm launching a show as well. It won't be on Zoom. It's going to be an IGTV. It's called Father to Father, talking to fathers from all walks of life, man, about like what it like they're experiencing difficulties with being a father, because there's no playbook on this. You said you're not a father yet. I'm letting you know right now. There is no instruction manual at all. Every day is trial and error. Yep. Some days you're going to mess up, but some days it's going to be a win. And that's what I want to talk to other fathers about, man. Like, and possibly they could help me out with some tips. Like, man, like it took me months to figure out how to actually change a diaper. It took me months, but I will say I was the best at swaddling. Couldn't nobody handle me. Couldn't nobody hit me on the swaddle once my baby girl was born. Like, I knew how to swaddle. I knew how to put the swaddle on. But yeah, being a father and being the best father I could be and the best husband I could be, that's being a man to me. That's being a man to me.
Dude, that's dope, man. That's dope. And I'm super excited and interested to learn more about the Father to Father platform.
Thank you.
That you're going to be launching that on IG soon. How can people, I told you earlier, I got 3 homies who just became fathers over the last year. I'd love to get plugged in. So how can people that are watching this or viewing this, how can they learn more about Father to Father?
Oh, yeah. So Father to Father, you learn more about that on Instagram. My Instagram is really simple. Lawrence.Ellis, LAWRENCE.ELLIS. YouTube is Lawrence Ellis. They allowed me to get my whole name just in my YouTube. So those 2 platforms, that's really all I'm focused on right now. I'm not a TikToker or anything like that. So like I don't really dance too well to be on TikTok like that. And that's all I really see on TikTok, though. So yeah, those are only 2 places you could really find me, man. I put out content daily on Instagram. Like, so you're not going to be following somebody that's like, oh, he might post once a week. Nah, I'm putting out like 3, 4, 5 posts a day on Instagram. So it's content on there for you to keep you entertained. So
nice. Well, y'all hear it first here, man. Any fathers or soon to be fathers, whatever it may be, tap into my boy Lawrence. The Father to Father platform will be dropping soon. Is it out yet or is it coming soon?
No, it's coming next week. Next week.
Dropping next week. So y'all make sure y'all tap in and see what my boy has going on, because it's good. It's always a beautiful opportunity for men to get together and just learn from each other. As he said, there is no playbook, but it's always great to give game back and forth, because that's really how you build up community and how you build up knowledge. So it's gonna be a beautiful thing, bro. Excited to get it launched. And like I said, just holler at me so I can plug you with some of my homies that are fathers, because I love to have them up there with you and collaborate.
Man, that'll be dope, man. That'll be dope. That's love right there, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
I got you, dog. I got you. Yo, y'all, thank y'all for watching another episode here of the Ball to Ball series. My guy Lawrence pulled up here, dropped his gems about everything from hair loss, your skin regimen, and what it means to be a great man and a great father. So y'all stay tuned in, stay locked in. Tap in with him on Instagram so you can see what's coming up with the Father platform very soon. And last thing I would say here, like my boy said, stop stressing it, own it, and just come home if you're still playing, man. Just
come home, man, bro. Like, trust me, life will be a lot easier for you. Life will be a lot easier for you. Just do it.
All right, guys. Until next time, we'll see you on the next episode of Ball to Ball. Y'all take care.